Hey, Snow.
Hey, MJ.
I am about 40 hours from being back home. I never thought I would miss Kingman.
The clock is ticking down. I bet you're counting the seconds. You're
I'm
probably not even
kind
going to be able to sleep tonight.
well, well, I'm not sleeping tomorrow night, definitely, because I need to spend tomorrow night in an airport.
Oh, okay.
Um, but, Indiana, it's been cool. The people here have been cool. With a new job that I can't mention. But the land of, like, Abe Lincoln and John Mellencamp, I've just had enough. I've had enough. I've seen some cool things here. I went to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That was cool.
Oh, that's right up your alley.
Yeah,
Like,
went to a zoo down in Evansville. Went to the Muhammad Ali Museum. Went to Churchill Downs. But I just want to get home.
yeah, you're homesick.
Yeah, I haven't seen my kids in 6 weeks. Haven't seen Rufus in 6 weeks. Haven't seen you in 6 weeks.
You mean you couldn't do without Rufus?
For an asshole, he's kind of
I'll have to
lovable.
make a Rufus joke. He's like the only dog I can't win over. I'm
Yeah.
like, I wish him treats and he's still mean to me.
Yeah, well, Jughead was never nice to me.
Well, no, Jughead would be, like, nice at first, and then if you pet him the wrong way or something, he'd get kind of pissy. But he didn't just go, like, straight out the gate, with
Oh, complete asshole.
wanting to, like, bite your arm off,
I think I'm going to blame my roommate, and he watches too much Fox News, and it just makes the dog angry.
You know what? I think you might be onto something.
Yeah.
Fox News makes me angry.
That's
Why I watch it.
As we record this, I have a pretty cool studio set up here. Like if this house was our studio, it'd be set up really nice. A big screen TV. And I'm watching Don Lemon, and he's talking about how no lawyers want to touch Donald Trump on this latest thing with the FBI raid.
I agree, because I wouldn't want to touch Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I'm not a lawyer, but I don't want to touch him.
Yeah, and he's saying that he wants to release the FBI the footage of the security cameras of when they raided his house. And I'm like, yeah, show it.
Cool,
Show it. Do it.
Do it. I know, because it's like you're not going to see. I had read that they did not show up in their FBI windbreakers. They did not. There was no huge production. They wanted to keep it a secret. He's the one that let the whole world know that he was being picked on. He's Big Donnie the victim. Big Donnie the victim. I've got to stir up all my pit bulls. I got to get my pit bulls activated. I don't know what else to say. I associate him with a bad dog owner and all of his minions, vicious dogs.
So you're saying Rufus may have bad dog owners, or at least one?
No. I think Rufus, honestly, had a bad dog owner before you got him. I think he had somebody who probably didn't.
No, he definitely was an abused puppy, and
Right.
he has trust issues.
You can tell that he was not well taken care of and that a dog has, like, I've heard this before too, that, like, a dog has the mentality of, like, a toddler. They don't, yes, they learn and retain stuff, but still they don't, they're not a human, and if you traumatize them, they're gonna, well, look at how many humans are traumatized when they're young and they're fucked up their whole life,
broken forever.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to bring this full circle. And Well, I was talking about lawyers, and I know you don't watch this show, I don't think. But the Breaking Bad the Breaking Bad spinoff, Better Call Saul.
Oh, I need to finish watching that.
Yeah, it just wrapped up.
Yeah.
And do you remember?
Yeah.
Did you watch all of Breaking Bad?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and do you remember how they wrapped that up perfectly? Not many shows can do that. Not many shows can wrap it up at the end and you go like, that was satisfying. Better Call Saul did it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that I need to get on finishing watching Better Call Saul, because on Breaking Bad, Saul and Mike were like my two favorite characters, and Jesse. I liked Jesse, Saul, and Mike the best out of the characters on that show.
Well, spoiler alert, Walter White and Jesse do show up in Better Call Saul to tie it all together.
Oh, yeah, don't tell me anymore.
Yeah, that's all I'll say.
Okay, I need to see. I figured that they would, because it's got to lead up to Saul, like, taking them on as clients.
Right,
you know,
and it goes through all of that, how he got involved with Walter White and how that led to whatever happened to him afterwards.
Yeah, because he ends up working at Cinnabon or something like that, right?
Yeah, and they explain all that, and it's brilliant. Yeah. I should mention one of the best parts of the last season, and this makes it worth it, is Carol Burnett plays a character in the last season, and she's brilliant in it.
Oh, cool. Yeah. You know, that guy is the Vince Gillian? Is that how you say his last? Gillian or something like that?
Gillian, yeah.
I think he's already working on another series after this one. Like, they're going to do another show.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be cool.
It won't be as good as these two.
Keep them coming, dude. I think it's going to be something completely different. A whole different story.
Okay, so let's just run down a few of the things that we've missed over the last few weeks, because we haven't been doing the podcast regularly, and we're going to get back to it in the next couple weeks. We'll get back on the regular schedule. Salman Rushdie.
Yeah.
That was unbelievable. Now, tell you the truth, I had kind of forgotten about him, because you haven't really heard much. I guess he was out doing like a speaking tour of a college or wherever he was, and some like 20-something-year-old goes up on stage and stabs him multiple times.
Did they? Yeah, they haven't really talked about that person's motives. Like, what was? Have you heard anything?
Well, you would think that he was probably radicalized on that, because the backstory is, if nobody knows, and I'm not fully versed on it, I do remember the story though. He wrote a novel called The Satanic Verses. Yeah,
he always said that he thought he would be attacked.
Yeah,
he always said it when he wrote the book.
Well, yeah, and because it was fictional, it was a novel, but in the novel he talked about Muhammad in it, which is a no-no in the Muslim community.
Right.
And the Ayatollah Khomeini from Iran, I don't know if put a bounty on his head is the correct term, but he was getting serious threats from the Muslim community. And he had to go into hiding in, I believe it was Britain, for like 10 years, had to change his name. And then he came out of it, and he wrote a couple more books. He wrote a book about his time in exile, and I don't have that in front of me. So he goes out on this tour. He's attacked by a radical Muslim. Now, we always talk about extremists, like these Muslim extremists.
Right.
But, and I think Bill Maher made a great point this week, where he said it's not racist to call someone extremist, because I think what Bill Maher was alluding to was we have extremists here.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're maggots. They're part of the MAGA crew. They're like, and it's not just them, to be fair. I mean, but yeah, we have white supremacy extremists.
Yeah. And that's not saying that just because you're a Trump supporter that you're a radical extremist.
Right.
But
right. There's a special breed of. I mean, because not all Trump supporters are rabid, vicious dogs, like I was referring to earlier. There's actually nice people who are Trump supporters. I can't figure out why, but I can't figure out why they support him when they are nice people. Right. I don't understand that, but yeah, I mean, there's all, just like there's all different kinds of people on the left too, you know? Yeah. There's people who are more extreme left than we are, you know?
And the one thing that was, there was this guy in Ohio who was killed because he went after the FBI in Ohio, and they had to kill him. Because
he's basically like the same as this guy who went and stabbed Solomon Rushdie. I mean, it's like, if you guys can't see the similarities, like, I don't know how much more to point them out to you. I don't know. Do you need like flares? Do we need to send off like, you know, flare guns and smoke signals for you to get it? I mean, I don't know. Big neon sign?
Yeah. Well, why can't people see that this, and not even a Trump supporter, but the Christian extremists who say, like, you know, America's a Christian country, and they want, you know, America to adopt all these Christian rules, and, you know, we can't have contraceptives, you can't have abortions, and you can't have this and that because it's against your religion. But
right, they're becoming so extreme. Like, they want, I don't know if you heard about one of the recent cases where the 19-year-old young woman was pregnant. Well, her pregnancy did not go well, and the baby died. And they weren't going to let her get the dead baby removed out of her body until there was no longer a heartbeat. That could cause a person to go septic where they die. But they don't care. That's how extreme they are. That's how I don't understand how they don't draw these lines and say, hey, wait a minute. And this girl is not one that was like, she wanted to have the baby. It's not like she didn't want the baby. But stuff goes wrong. There's another story that came out about how they're forcing someone, I mean, unless these women go to other states. I mean, we should say that because there are still some states where they can go to and be safe. But there's a woman who found out that her baby was not going to be, would not be born with a complete skull. Why would you make somebody carry a baby? Can you imagine the horror that would go on with this kid's life if this kid was born? A skull. Like, half the skull missing.
Yeah, and I
how is that fair to do that, to subject somebody? Like, you would think there would probably be health concerns and all that, but they're just like, I've been thinking about it a lot, and I'm like, are they just trying to play God? Are these extremists, is that what they want? They want to play God and be like, no, you're not allowed to do that, when it's like, you don't even know that God would do that. According to the Bible, that's not what God would do. The book that you claim to be so in love with, though I don't think many of you have read it.
Yeah. You know, I'll have to send it to you, and this is a bit off topic, but I was watching a clip of Doug Stanhope earlier, and he was talking about immigration and how he was talking to somebody, and the person was so anti-immigrant. He goes, because immigrants are a drain on his taxes. He doesn't want his tax dollars to go to immigrants. And Stanhope's response was, well, I don't want my tax dollars to go to feed your 15 kids because you can't stop breeding.
Yeah, I've seen that one, and I'm like, that's brilliant. That's brilliant, because it's like, yeah, even if you, people that have that many kids, yeah, I can tell you that they're getting help. I worked with a guy who had 11, and I'm like, and they had good jobs, both him and his wife. They did not have enough money to feed their children all on their own. Let's put it that way. They were getting help, too, from all of us. And it's like, I don't want to subsidize that. I agree. I think that they should start telling people, hey, look, you really need to limit the breeding. They should come out and say that. Not force people, but they should make suggestions and make it knowledge, and there should be education on how to have sex without getting knocked up. I don't know how people haven't figured this out yet. There are methods.
But that's another thing that the radical Christians want, is to eliminate sex education in school. I mean, they already think that we're teaching preschoolers how to have
sodomy.
Yeah.
I was listening to a right-wing show not too long ago, because there was a repeat of mine, so I was like, what the hell, let me flip on over to the Patriot channel, because I want to see what's going on, because I bet that their hair is probably still on fire, because it was only like 2 days after they came out with talking about the FBI investigation at Mar A Lago. So I was like, let me flip on over to there, and oh yeah, this host was like, he goes, I think even if you're a liberal, even if you consider yourself a liberal, that dreaded bad word, even if you consider yourself that, I think that we can all be in agreement that we don't want 5-year-olds being taught sodomy. I'm like, yes, because that's what's happening in kindergarten. They're just bending those little fuckers over and showing them what sodomy is, right in the class. They've gotten rid of show and tell, and now they're doing this. That's what's going on. I cannot believe it. And they believe it. The saddest thing is the host doesn't believe it. I don't think he believes that for 1 second. But he knows what he, like Donald Trump, knows how to rile up that stupid fucking base. And those idiots believe it.
Okay.
They believe it.
And you hate to think that we're beating a dead horse, but maybe we are.
I hate to think that people are that goddamn dumb.
But okay, but I think we've mentioned this before, okay? And God, you hate to say it. You hate to talk down to other people. It sounds like we're talking down.
Yeah.
But by defunding education, by defunding public education, don't you think that makes the voter base more not intelligent? Not going to call them stupid. We'll say there's a lack of intelligence and critical thinking, that when they watch their news channel of choice, that they just get brainwashed by this?
Yeah.
Because the host doesn't, like Tucker Carlson probably doesn't believe what he says. Sean Hannity probably.
They all went to good colleges. I watched a Netflix special recently. It was, because you know how I am with my documentaries, and this is unrelated to politics, but it was a documentary about a young boy. He was, I forget how old he was at the time, I think 15, but he killed his dad, shot him, for all the years of emotional and psychological abuse. Now, you know what this dad did? He kept that kid out of school because he stole the kid from the mother. He stole the kid, took the kid, back with him to Texas, or with him to Louisiana. The mother lives in Texas. He left and stole the kid. Well, this kid, completely undereducated, but guess what? Had one of the smartest things I've ever heard come out of someone's mouth. And you wouldn't believe it would come from someone like this. He goes, the kid says to the interviewer, he goes, well, talking about how the dad completely stole his childhood because the dad refused. He had to be homeschooled, but he was homeschooled even if his stepmother said that if they would have tried to put him in school, it would have been so embarrassing for the kid because he would have been he would have been a teenager in class with like 3rd and 4th graders. So that would have been horrible for him too. The kid goes, well, it's a lot easier to control a stupid person, isn't it? That doesn't know. Yeah. It's like, yeah, that's that. And right when he said that, I was like, that's why this whole beating of the dead horse, I am so frustrated because I don't like what they're doing to these people. Yeah. I have to sit here and listen to the stupid shit that they get these people to believe, and I'm like, this is all so they can have socialism for the rich. They don't want you to have anything so that they can continue to not pay fucking taxes because they think you're a worthless piece of shit. Yet they'll still love your vote. That's why I get to where I sound like I'm beating a dead horse because I give a shit about these people. I'm like, dude, stop falling for this shit.
Hey, Snow.
Not only does it affect you, but it affects all of us. When you fall for this crap and you keep allowing these idiots, like, hey, remind me again, that new great bill that just passed that's going to lower prescription drug prices for seniors, it's going to put a cap on that, all that.
Yeah.
MJ, would you remind me how many Republicans voted for that?
Big fat zero?
Remind me?
Zero?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, what the fuck are they doing for you? This is what makes me beat that dead horse. What in the fuck are they doing for you?
Hey, Snow.
They told you time and time again, they voted against the vets. The only reason that they went back and agreed to not fuck the vets over was because they got shamed. And they need to be shamed on every single issue. They need to be shamed.
Hey, Snow.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break and we'll get into that. Okay?
All right.
Okay, that's a good point. And that Veterans Bill passed after John Stewart was the one to thank for that because he brought attention to it.
Yeah, he has been for years.
And my conservative friends, when I made a post about it on Facebook, would say, well, the Democrats had this evil plan to write this bill, and then they could magically divert the money to their other socialist plans, which was bullshit.
Start being like, and what would that be? What would that be? Would you guys rather we go back to, let's divert the money back to the rich. Let's not make them pay their taxes. It's like, another excuse of theirs I'm really getting sick and tired of hearing is, how they'll be like, yeah, but look what happens when we make them pay their taxes. Then they just raise the prices on us. They raise the prices, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, dude, they raise the prices anyway.
Yeah. Speaking of which, while we're on that subject,
because look at the tax breaks they got. ExxonMobil got a fucking huge tax break. How come gas kept going up?
Okay.
Because they're fucking greedy.
Okay, on that point about gas, now over the last 6 weeks or so,
it's gone down.
Gas prices have gone down. But, okay, and this is for maybe our opposition that might hate to listen to us. Have the prices in the grocery stores gone down? No.
According to, my groceries, though, I'm the worst person to ask. I mean, I only buy food for myself, and it's about the same as I almost always pay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, I eat a lot of vegetables and stuff. I haven't really noticed that. Like Dr. Oz trying to say that all these vegetables were like there's another $2, there's $4. I'm like, where the fuck are you shopping at? My vegetables are not that expensive. What are you talking about?
Although,
like, trying to make that fancy dip, and I'm like, they're not that much money. Unless you're buying like in bulk. If he was buying like, big packages of each one, then I can see. But I'm like, no, like, okay, I just bought a potato. One potato was like 60 something cents. I'm like, where are you getting this? Unless you're buying like a whole pack of them. I mean, but you should kind of make that clear if you're trying to make your cake, but.
although, did you shop at the grocery store that the roof collapsed? And thank God nobody was hurt in that.
No, well, you know me, I haven't been inside a grocery store.
Right, but did you shop at that particular grocery store?
I did a long time ago, but I didn't know that they did drive up and go, so I always went to the other Safeway. Because the new Safeway, I think they just barely got the drive up and go at the old one.
Yeah, for those not in the know, at our Safeway in Kingman, they had two locations. At one of the locations, the roof collapsed because of all the storms we've been getting. And speaking of that, you know how we were saying last week that Kingman should have a way to retain rainwater when this does happen?
Yeah.
I learned something. Do you know where the green hole is? It's kind of near my place.
Yeah, that's an irrigation park.
Yeah. So that water does get retained, it does get filtered, and it goes back into the water table.
Oh, good.
So there should be, and I'll say his name here because I can give him props for this. Travis Lingenfelter did name other spots around town where they want to do the same thing, which is a good thing.
Good, they better, because Arizona is first on the chopping block of getting cut back. You knew that, right? Did you hear about that?
From the Colorado River?
Yes, Arizona is the first state that's getting cut by 20%, and then next year, the other states will get their cuts.
How come that? Shouldn't though? I don't know who negotiated these deals back in the day, but shouldn't, like, you would think like Las Vegas, they should get like one of the first dibs. With Lake Mead, but then don't you think Arizona should take priority over California?
Well, I think. As a resident of Arizona, you would think that my answer would be yes, right? But I have heard from a few folks that water has already been spoken for long ago. That water had already been, basically bought.
Yeah, it was negotiated way back in the day. Now, the other thing, the second thing on that is, and this would go for all desert states, is why you allow big agriculture in areas like this.
Right.
Why can't those people...
The problem, too, with some of the agriculture stuff, too, is the way that the system was set up with that. I feel kind of bad for some of we have to figure out the water situation, but I feel bad for some of them because they've always been told, look, the farmers and the ranchers, they've been told, you either use it or lose it. Why do we have a system like that? Why is it if you don't use it, we're taking it away from you? What? Why?
Right. Should there be more like a kickback? Like if you conserve it, then you get a kickback and be like, okay.
Can't you do that? Can't you give them a tax break if they don't use it all? You're okay with giving tax breaks to fucking people who use their money to go shoot themselves into space.
Yeah.
I don't understand this. I don't understand the way the world works sometimes.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, everything's crazy. Like we were talking about, the Inflation Reduction Act, and one of the things that they wanted to do was hire more IRS agents. Now, the reason why they want to hire more IRS agents is to better make sure that the wealthy are paying their taxes and eliminating these loopholes.
I know.
And
don't you love how all the fucking Trumplicans living off of the government are like, oh great, they're gonna start. No, idiots. The reason why they need more of them is because Trump fired a ton of them. He gutted that part. You know why? Because it takes like a team of agents to audit rich people because they have so much shit. They have so much assets. They have so much stuff. That's why it's not a simple task. And that is exactly why Trump gutted them, so they wouldn't be going after him or any of his friends.
Right. And also, like, a lot of them that are left are reaching retirement age, and they will need to be replaced.
Which is good. That will create more jobs.
But the argument is we are using these funds to provide weapons because they say that if you're an IRS agent, you are armed, which is not true. Now, they are armed IRS agents who are doing investigations, who have to go into hostile potential situations. Yes, they are armed. But is every IRS pencil pusher armed? No.
And what do these people around here care about that? They fucking wear their guns to Subway.
Wait, I thought more guns was a good thing.
Why are they so afraid? What are you afraid of now? You literally strap yourself with guns to go buy sandwiches, and you're still afraid of other people that have guns? All right.
Okay, speed round here. Did you ever think you would feel bad that Liz Cheney lost in a primary?
Turns out I'm 100% that bitch that's hopefully going to bring Trump down. No, yeah, I do. I mean, I do, and I don't feel bad for her. I don't feel bad that she lost her seat on the things that she's voted for in the past, because she's a bit of a loon when it comes to women's reproductive issues. In my opinion, I don't care for her views on that. I feel bad for her that she lost her seat over something so fucking petty for trying to do the right thing. That's bullshit. You know?
Well, the problem being...
That doesn't sit well with me. That's fucked up. I'm like, what country do we live in? Because I don't feel like it's America. I really don't. When shit like that happens, you know?
But the problem being is that they're going to be replaced with more loons, like the MTGs and the Matt Gaetzes.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And they will create laws that will make it impossible to win an election fairly.
No, yeah, I feel bad that Liz Cheney did that, but I also, on the other hand, I don't feel bad. She's gonna be just fine. She could probably go become a lobbyist and make more money than she'd ever make as a House representative, if you want my honest opinion. I mean, I think she'll be just fine. And then think of all the book deals that she can do.
Yeah, but you're going to load the Congress with Trumpsters.
I don't want that to happen either. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying, oh my God, now that Liz Cheney's gone, here come the Trump humpers. I don't know that they'll actually win. I mean, America's starting to see that, yes, Democrats are getting shit done. They're going to get stuff done that's going to help you. And I think that the Republicans really shot themselves in the fucking foot by their whole abortion thing. They basically handed it. I mean, everybody was so down on the fucking Democratic Party for a while now going, and it's almost like the Republicans gave him a fucking Christmas present with that one, because there are more and more people going out and registering to vote, and guess what the percentage is? It's like 70-something% women going out and doing this. So, that's what you get for, you want to take away people's rights? All right, well, don't be surprised when they fight you back. Don't be surprised when that happens.
Well,
another
one, speaking of people's rights, conservatives celebrating that Brittany Griner got 9 years in a Russian prison. Now,
and two of the idiots at my work sitting there talking about that when I went into work one day, and they're like, well, I don't feel sorry for her at all. She's done every chance she gets, she turns her back on America. I'm like, how so? I didn't even engage, though. I'm going to work, but I was like, how does she?
Because she kneeled during the national anthem. That's why. She expressed her First Amendment rights, but they didn't like it. She kneeled, and that is worth to them. That makes it okay to be sentenced to 9 years in a Russian prison.
Then if they hold cops up in that high of a regard, because that's what the kneeling is for, or have they forgotten that? If they're going to hold cops up in that high regard, then why do you say the awful things and dismiss the people who attacked the police on 1/6 and the people who now want the FBI defunded?
Who are law enforcement officers.
You guys make no fucking sense to me. So keep spitting your fucking hate. Hate makes people stupid. Clearly.
Right.
Hate makes people say real fucking dumb things.
And say, because Joe Rogan likes his weed. So say if it was Joe Rogan who went over to Russia to interview somebody, okay? But he was caught at an airport with the CB.
Bullshit. That's what they would do. They'd be like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Get Rogan back.
Right. For doing the exact. Now, I'm not saying Rogan would do that, but if he did, they would hold the standard different. And they'd be like, well, it's bullshit. We should send Rambo in there to free Joe Rogan, is what they would say, right?
Right. Exactly right. I mean, they have no problem. They're not even shy about their hypocrisy. They don't try to hide it. They're just blatantly out with it. They do not care. They're basically telling all of us. They're like teenagers. They're like, you don't like my friend Susie? You don't like my friend Susie? Fuck you. I'm not talking to you.
Now,
that's how they are.
Should have Brittany Griner brought into Russia what she did? No. But is it worth 9 years? No.
No, 9 years? I know, that's fucking ridiculous. I'm like, let's just do the prison swap, guys, so that we can move past this, and it can be a learning lesson. Hey, anybody, if you're deciding on going to Russia, don't bring anything with you. Don't bring that shit with you.
She should have done it, but not worth 9 years. And we'll wrap this up on a couple of things. Dunlum just had Lake Mead and the water level on. It's like, we talk about this shit, and then the mainstream media picks it up as we're doing it.
Right? Well, it is an important issue.
Yeah. Olivia Newton-John We didn't talk about this last week.
I know. I was so... When I heard the news, like, I started crying. I love Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah. Yeah, she was like my first crush when I was probably 12 when Physical came out.
After seeing the Physical video?
Yeah. Yeah, and I was just like, yep. Yeah, that's my girl. Plus, she was Australian.
Yeah.
And just sad. And she battled breast cancer for years, and she finally passed away. And the other sad one that happened last week was, you hear about Anne Heche?
Yeah, something. She was like on fentanyl and something else. And
Yeah, alcohol.
Huh?
Alcohol. But
The report I heard said that she had fentanyl in her system too, and I was like, what are you doing fucking with that?
yeah, but this brings back another subject that we've talked about a lot on this podcast over the last couple of years is mental health. And Anne Heche has been known to have issues with mental health over the years and stuff. And apparently she was doing too much under the influence and whatever was going on in her personal life, and she crashed her car into a house and the car caught fire and she was trapped inside.
Did she die?
She died, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I had just heard about the accident, but I hadn't heard. Didn't that happen, like, because at first I thought it was an old story, because that happened, like, a while ago. She was on something, I think they thought she was on, like, ecstasy or something, and she got lost somewhere or something like that.
Well, no, she's had a history for years about a lot of different things.
Yeah, it's sad.
But she got into this accident, and you feel bad. The people that were renting the house, they lost all their possessions, and thankfully they got out. But it's just kind of sad, like whatever her mental state was, and this happened to her, and just being horrific, being trapped in a burning car, and then surviving for 4 or 5 days, and then she ended up being brain dead, and they took her off life support.
Oh, okay, I heard that she got, like, rushed to the hospital or was in critical condition. That's the last that I heard.
But again, beating a dead horse, the argument came from one side that, well, what about the people in the house? And, well, she was just a privileged actress and this and that, Hollywood elite, and not giving any empathy to what had happened to her, whatever had happened to her.
I've got a question then about this. Are there, like, has every person who's ever gotten a DUI or had a DUI type accident, or, driving under the influence or whatnot, have every single one of them been on the left? Are there what is with this? These fucking people, well, this is what I'm talking about. All these people so fucking judgmental as fuck, and it's like, I would be willing to bet you assholes money that you guys know someone in your family who's had a DUI, or worse, been into someone in your family that had a horrific accident. It's like, you guys struggle too, so stop with the facade that you're perfect people, because we know you're not. Look at the way you vote, number one.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I get sick and tired of listening to their shit. It's like,
yeah, well,
you have people in your life that are fucked up somehow, that are struggling.
Yeah, well, and that goes back to the Brittany Griner thing, like you don't smoke pot, and have you ever tried to get pot into someplace where you know that it should not be? Have you ever done that? Then shut the fuck up.
Also, okay, with
I mean, we are talking Russia. There's a big leap. There's a big leap between going to a concert and smoking, smuggling pot in and then smuggling pot into Russia.
MJ, we live in conservative ass bumfuck Arizona, right? So this is as conservative as it gets. So you mean to tell me all the DUIs that have happened here and the DUI accidents, who the fuck's been committing those all these years? I mean, just the audacity. I bet you some of the people sitting there saying it, well, what about these people? I bet you that some of them have had fucking multiple DUIs. And they're still talking that shit because they do not care. They don't care if they do something as long as the people that they like are the ones,
Even if you haven't been caught, have you driven under the influence? Now, I will raise my hand. I have been guilty of driving under the influence where I should not have been driving. I think...
That's what I'm saying. Go down to any bar. Like, I've seen, what about the guy that... I saw a guy in Rickety Cricket one time that had a shirt on that said, fucking Kid Rock for Senate. Kid Rock for U.S. Senate. How'd he get home after he was drinking? Because he was there drinking. So was I. I was drinking. I live downtown, so I walked home, but, I mean, it's not that, I haven't driven under the influence before. Yeah, I think damn near everyone's guilty of
Wouldn't
that.
you have to be pretty hammered to even buy a Kid Rock for Senate t-shirt?
Oh, shit, right? And it's pretty hammered to wear it in public.
Yeah. All right, Snow, we need to wrap this up because I need to try to get some sleep on my last day because I have a sleepless night tomorrow, spending it in an airport before I arrive back in Las Vegas. And then we'll get back on a regular schedule because I think people have missed us.
I hope so. I missed that. I missed everybody.
All of our expert commentary on politics, which we admit that we know nothing about.
Well, we know a little bit
we
more
know a little bit
than most, I guess. Most people are busy. They don't have time to fucking focus on shit like this.
I know.
And it's not that much fun, right?
No, and we need to get back onto our other subjects.
Right.
And we're going to line up some great guests when we get back. When I get back. I shouldn't say we. I'm the one missing.
I know.
Okay, right, Snow.
Well,
hey, Snow.
Buddy, safe travel.
Snow, stick on the phone for a minute after we wrap this up. I need to tell you something. Fair? Okay? All right, so we'll say goodbye to everybody.
Okay, bye, y'all.
Bye.